Peace. I don't issue retractions often. In fact, I think this might be my very first one, which is a pretty good run, but alas, there's a first time for everything. And this particular time is very important given what's at stake. In a recent series beginning with my post, Tweaker versus Panderer, followed up by a post talking about the difference between responsibility and accountability, there's been a deluge of backlash, predominantly from a specific subset of unaccountable black men, who were deeply offended by me using the phrase, "These particular unaccountable black men are the white people of black people." Now, that phrase, the white people of black people, is basically talking about the intersection of how power and privilege work. It's all relative. It's not a one-to-one comparison between the power of black men and the power of white men, but how black men's position in the patriarchy plays out amongst black people. Still, I understand that it's inflammatory, and these black men were offended. And that offense really distracted away from the central issue at hand, which is how we as men, and particularly black men, can be more accountable for how we move in the world, especially as it pertains to women, as a collective. Instead of focusing on that issue, all sorts of chaos and cacophony and calamity kicked off in the comments. Because I said, these black men are the white people of black people. To which these men responded, they absolutely cannot be the white people of black people because the system is against them. If anything, they believe that the system benefits their black female counterparts to a much greater degree than it ever has black men. These brothers also pointed out that they too have suffered. They have suffered at the hands of white people. So how then could they be the white people of black people? And above all, these men were simply unaccountable. They didn't want to be responsible or accountable for anything. And they began to argue feelings over facts. And to be fair, none of these three things that I just mentioned are the hallmarks of white men. To the contrary, white men do not wallow in their history of victimhood to avoid accountability. It's quite the opposite. White men see themselves as conquerors. White men do not placate to the image of themselves as being weaker nor inferior when they're trying to win an argument. White men have an inflated sense of self. They would never say that they are the weaker vessel to white women. They are not going to say that the system they created is more against them than women, except when they're doing so strategically, to play in the face of white women and wallow in the results. I mean, I'm speaking generally here, so some might, but those who see themselves as captains of industry, conquerors, don't do that. They take every chance they can to remind white women of their lower rung in the caste system of white supremacy. And these white men are the exact opposite of unaccountable, to the extreme. Not only are these white men not adverse to taking responsibility, they claim responsibility for everything. So while a particular subset of black men want credit for everything and blame for nothing, their white male counterpart wants it all. White women, on the other hand, if you try to hold them accountable for their place in white supremacy, they will tell you, oh, but the patriarchy. Oh, but I have suffered at the hands of the white man. I don't have equal rights. The system is against me too. Look at how it's benefited my counterpart. And if all else fails, they will argue their feelings over facts. Thus, a retraction is owed for saying that black men are the white people of black people. To all the unaccountable black men who were offended by me saying that you, black men, are the white people of black people, I apologize. That is not true. You are the white women of black people. We out here.